The introduction one is fine.
Okay.
Okay, let's please take us through the feeling of entering the house. How was that feeling?
Let me tell you something. Before I even entered the house, I thought I was going to be the only colored girl. And I thought I was going to be the only Beyonce. When I got into the stage, the first thing that happened to me was my shoe that decided to break. But listen here, I handled my moment with grace. I had to lift myself up and I had to go to that house. The minute I got into the house, I saw a few housemates there and I was happy. Like it felt like a moment where you're laying in your bed and you're dreaming about it. That's how it felt. But the minute housemates started coming in, that's when I realized that, hey, actually, I'm not the only Beyonce here. So many strong personalities. When Trixie came in, I felt so relieved because all my life I've been bashed for the way I speak. So my accent is very unique and people used to make fun of that. But when I heard Trixie come in, I was like, yes, there's two of us, so I'm going to survive in that house. But I think my confidence broke the minute I saw that there's a lot of Beyoncés in the house and I'm not the only colored girl. But listen, I managed to wing it.
Now you entering the house of you're a few days in, you are starting to create bonds with people. Who would you say you created the best bond with, and how did that come about?
The person I created a bond with in the house was definitely Ilano, and I was with her until the end. The reason for that is because in the outside world, I tend to be very crazy, and what I believe is that crazy is not normal in society. So, with me being in the house and getting to see that it's actually okay to be crazy. Here's somebody who's even crazier and somebody that I can relate to. That for me was a highlight in the house. I also believe that Ilano didn't just come with the fun, the entertainment, the laughs. She also helped me tap into my feminine energy. So now I flaunt my legs, I flaunt my thighs because she made me realize that it's okay to be a woman, it's okay to be proud of who you are. Just embrace it, walk around with confidence. Very smart. There's a lot of, golden advice that I managed to get from Ilano, and I'm hoping and praying that we get to pursue our friendship even outside of the house.
And talking about people inside the house, a lot of people don't know if I should say had a problem with a certain housemate, but on the first Sunday there was a bit of an altercation between Tandega and Liema, and
the first Sunday.
Yes, the Sunday after that, after the first eviction, the first eviction ceremony where no one went home, and we will come back to the Didi one.
Okay.
And it felt like, to a lot of people, it felt like the entire house was in support of Liema with that altercation. What would be your take on that? Do you also feel like everyone else was on Liema's side, or would you say that there is a different view of that situation?
Personally, I do believe that Sunday specifically was a build up of what has been happening in the house. So everybody picked up the same behavior on that one person specifically, and everybody had the same sentiment about what was happening in the house. At that point in time, I felt like Liema was kind of the voice for the house. Although we felt like it wasn't the right time to do it, personally, me, I was not in support of it because I've learned that with that one housemate specifically. So this is me. I don't like dialogue. If I'm going to try and resolve conflict and I'm seeing I'm not getting anywhere with you, I walk away for the sake of my peace. And I do also feel like that was a disadvantage for me in the house. But personally, with that situation, I would like to believe that yes, majority of the housemates agreed with Liema only for the fact that it was a build up and everybody felt the same way in that moment. So she was the voice. It just so happened at that time she was voicing out everything that everyone else was thinking.
Didi raised the fact about people in relationships making the house a bit boring by going to sleep early. What was your view of what she said, and your view of the people who are in these relationships and how they are behaving in the house?
Personally, what I do believe in, and this is something that I stick to, right? So the shifts happened in less than 72 hours. What I think happened in that situation is that last season we had a couple with, I don't know if it was a strategy, but from the outside world, it seemed genuine and it worked out for them. And I think what happened in this season was people thought that that's the most known strategy, and also love. Love always wins in South. So it was one of those things where I believe it was way too obvious, because you cannot like or love someone in 4 hours. I was hoping that in the house we would have given each other some time and space to get to know one another before you actually make those types of decisions. I would like to agree and disagree with Didi. We don't know which relationships are genuine, because we do not sleep in the middle of the beds when they have pillow talk. First of all, whatever we speculate is based on what you see, right? But conversations, we don't know what's genuine and what's not. We also believe in love at first sight. I would also like to believe that Big Brother is a platform for us to express ourselves fully, simply for the fact that the theme was Bazozwa, being loud, being heard, and being able to express yourself. I believe that relationships was the safest route at that point in time, so that people are able to keep their spots in the house. I also do believe that Big Brother is not a love show. So we also have to adhere to the rules and to the themes that was made available for us. Yes, love is there, and I always said if I had to end up liking somebody in the house, I would have possibly given that person an opportunity to get to know other people while I do the same. And if it so happened that it was genuine, we would have figured our things out after the show. So yes, Didi was correct, because at the end of the day, we're there to entertain. We are there for a reason. You're there to show yourself, and being in a relationship for me at that time, I felt like was a safe spot, and also more of you trying to shadow the person that you are with, so that you don't have to give too much of yourself.
So friendships also were formed, and as we saw, you and Ilano were very close, and you did highlight the good things you picked up from her. Would you agree when people say that you two also had a bit of a gossip kind of team?
Listen, I'm not going to call it gossip. So this is how I am in real life as well. I like to make fun of a situation. Okay. So maybe it got a bit too much, and ultimately the plan is for us to coexist in the house. So if you are coexisting, that means that conversations must relate to the things that's happening in the house. So also we were in a very pleasured environment where everybody was feeling some type of way about everything all the time. And the best way for us to lighten the mood was to make fun of situations. Sometimes we would refer to things as bugs. We'd always make fun of things, but I don't think it was a matter of trying to hurt anybody in any way. And there's a difference between venting and gossiping as well. Let me put it out there. If ever I did become serious with Ilano, it was always a matter of me venting, because I had nobody else in the house that I could actually vent to. So maybe that was considered as gossiping. But for me personally, that was me venting. And when I did make fun of people, it was always just to try and lighten up the mood, so that, it doesn't feel too intense and too tight in the house.
There was a situation that almost blew up, involving two gentlemen and you. So tell us what happened with you, King Wanda, and Mzansi. Please tell us that before we speculate.
Let me tell you something. What I loved about myself is that I did not create the drama in the house. The drama came to me. So a few weeks ago, King Wanda had his chilla sponge, came to me and he said to me he's got a crush on me. That was the exact same night we did our wager where we had to share our personal experiences about, our trials and our tribulations in life. So in his story, he did mention something about rejection. And because I love people, I really do love people. At that point in time when he said to me, I have a crush on you, I didn't feel the same, but I had to be very analytical about it, because, you come from a background of rejection, and for me to now give that to you as well is probably going to trigger you. So I try to find a way to be nice about it, but also not entertain it type of vibe, right?
Okay.
So the week went by and we had our other pool party where obviously now I was close with Offense, but not in a romantic way. I think I also set my boundaries with Offense. He knew how far. I am a girl's girl and I felt like, you feel something for Trixie. Trixie's my girl. I'm not going to do her like that type of thing. So yeah, we were at the pool party. King Wanda decides to come to me randomly. He's like, hey, watch out for Offense. He's trying something with you. My response was, thank you for letting me know, but I do believe I'm a big girl. I've been here for quite some time. I can handle my things. I did also make it known to him that I did set my boundaries with Offense, so he knows where he stands with me, and that is why we get along. Still, pool party, time went on. Offense came to speak to me. King Wanda out of nowhere comes and he starts swearing at Offense. Remember the chilla punch already punched. Now he's trying to start something, and I'm just so proud of the fact that Offense didn't give him what he wanted. The party was over, we went into the house, I started speaking to the other gents because there was no intention. We all are just living together, we're trying to coexist, He then comes, he's like, so whenever gent would stand with me, King Wanda would be like, Ella, with his vulgar language. You're standing too close. I don't like that. You're talking for too long. I don't like that. So that started getting to me because don't now feel that you own me. I'm a big girl. Let me do what I need to do. Don't limit me to what I should and should not be doing in the house. That was okay. His friends came. They asked us to, hug it out because it wasn't that deep. They did explain to me he's intoxicated. Just let him be. I hugged him. And I pulled the ears. Oh, the problem started when I pulled the ears. And when I pulled the ears, it was more of me trying to say, naughty, like, you misbehaving, just stop it. But in a playful manner. And the remark that came after that is what blew things out of proportion. It wasn't even about the jeans. It was about what he said. He did, I don't know if I should repeat it, but he did say...
You're free to say it.
He did say, my ears are being pulled. I might just get stabbed. So that's where I got triggered because I come from the colored community and even in the outside world, we have to work 20 times harder to get to where we want to be. We are a minority. It's so difficult for us to fit in because of the stereotypes and the narratives. So with me being in the house, I was trying to change the narrative of that. And now him saying that, I tried my best not to be in drama. I did always promise myself that when it comes to petty things in the house, I will not entertain it. But when it comes to my morals, my values, the things that made me, I'm definitely standing up for it. And that is why I honored the theme Bazozwa, because you truly had to understand when to be loud, when to be true to yourself, and when to be heard. And I believe in that moment I had to, because that's the reason why I was there, to discover who I am, to showcase who I am, to also show off my unique accent. So in that moment, I really felt some type of way because I felt like I'm being stripped of my identity and who I was in that moment. But listen, we resolved our conflict, we made peace, and we just moved on.
And if we go back a bit, and we spoke about the feeling you got when you entered the house. What was the motivation for you to enter the house? Let's forget the 2 million. Obviously, we all wanted. Yeah, I would be happy with 2 million right now.
2 million in the bank account.
So, what was the motivation to want to be in that house?
Got you. So, in 2024, I lost my mom. And because I'm the firstborn, I was forced to step in and be a mom to my brother and my little sister. She's 10 years old. There's no additional support. I had to step up and be the plan A, be the plan B, be the plan C. I think for me personally, my mom's death made me realize a lot. I was very analytical, very yes, I was driven, but I wasn't willing to take big steps in life. I was used to play it safe. I never used to take risks. And after my mother's death, I learned to realize that life is so unpredictable. Life is so short. You might as well just live it to the fullest, live with no regret, because at the end of the day, you never know when your last breath will be taken, you know. So that's one of the things that motivated me to want to enter, because definitely this was out of my comfort zone. I might be a Beyonce, but I'm not a Beyonce like that. I think the second one was also, you know, having my little sister actually motivate me to enter.
Yeah.
And then obviously I've established myself as a brand for years. I've got people who look up to me. I've got people who watch me on the socials. And the fact that they even drove me to enter was big motivation for me. So ultimately, I didn't have a strategy, because I knew that, yes, as much as I'm doing it for myself, there's also people looking up to me and I have to showcase for them, you know. Another thing that motivated me to want to be in the house is my grieving process. I never got to, you know, just be still and take it all in. I always had to show up, be strong for everybody. So me taking some time out from the real world is exactly what I needed for myself. I think also in the time where I lost my mom, I lost myself in so many aspects. And having to be in the house made me realize who I am again. It made me challenge myself to new aspects, new capabilities, and it showed me what I'm actually capable of doing. I discovered new things. I flaunted my insecurities, you know. So I was just being myself, and I believe that, you know, everything that motivated me to want to be in the house still remains, and I'm just so happy that all those people are proud of me, and I'm proud of them for believing in me.
And now we get to the actual evictions, the first ones. You are sitting there, you are watching these two guys get booted out of the house. What feeling is going through your mind at that moment, seeing that damn people have started leaving, and then while you are still processing the fact that, oh, these guys have left, that very same night, next night, you get put up for eviction. That feeling of seeing the two guys leave and the feeling of realizing that you might be next. Just take us through that.
I've always believed that nobody's safe in the house. Whether you are standing, whether you are sitting, you are not safe. But I think the Sunday for me was much easier for the fact that we gotten to understand in the first week how evictions actually work. Although nobody left, we got to get used to the process. The second week for me personally was a shocker, and that made me realize that, this is a game. It's getting real. It's a game of fate. It's anybody's game. But that week I really was relaxed because I knew I was safe. But in the back of my mind, I knew that in this house, anything can happen. Always prepare for, not disappointments, but always expect the unexpected, basically. But in a nutshell, offensive for me was, I didn't expect that one. But I could see it coming based on his body language, and he also felt it coming based on the body language. I might be wrong, but from what I perceived and how I took the body language, the eye contact, I could feel like he's preparing himself to actually leave the house. But in a nutshell, again, anybody's game. You just have to be prepared for the best, be prepared for the worst, and just understand that it's a game of fate. It's really a game of fate in that house.
There's a question that came from the public that I was asked to ask you.
I hope it's not the kiss.
You got it. There you go.
What's the question? Let's hear.
Why Tumi, and why did the kiss never got to happen?
Got you. So my plan was never to fall in love when I get to the house. It was not part of the plan. I just wanted to run the game by myself. So at the end of the day, if it happened that I made it to top 10, top 5, I would have been so proud of myself for the fact that I didn't have to depend on a relationship to make me stay in the house for that long. Right? That was one of, and also I was there to find myself. So me falling in love was not part of the plan. Why Tumi? Okay. Tumi, and let me put it out there actually. The Sunday night when we got to the house, I was the first girl Tumi approached. And I shut him down. And because I did that, he decided to go to Butle. So if you just go back, actually I am the first one. I am the first one. So we actually had a fallout the first night We were fighting about the noise because I was laughing. I was just having a moment.
Yeah.
And he was upset for the fact that he couldn't sleep. At that time, we were sleeping next to each other. And we had a moment, but we sorted it out immediately. So time went on. Tumi was just there, We were just coexisting. Until he had to draw that DNA thing on my canvas. You remember that one? That's where we actually had a conversation. So with me, I believe that if you want to stimulate me, get me here. And you have to crack the code mentally and emotionally, And that's what Tumi did. We had a very deep conversation and it was way different. I didn't get that type of conversations from any of the other guys in the house. So that's what made him stand out at that time. And I had my moments where I started becoming emotional in the house. And Tumi was always there to calm me down. So that for me was golden. I don't know what happened. I think he's got eyes, man. When he smiles and he says, "Hey, Dene, Miss James." Yeah. And he loved my ears. So always when he sees me, he'll always just put the hair aside so the ears can show. So even that for me was different because I never had anybody like my ears. It was cute. It really was cute. I think the kissing part, why it never happened is because, I tried. I really tried on Thursday with the pool party. Mm-hmm. Like I said, the plan was never to initiate the kiss. I wanted him to, Okay. So if ever anything backfires, I could always point back to him and be like, "But Butle, Tumi kissed me," In that way, I think it would have worked out for me. Yeah. But on Thursday, I did try. I tried my best, but whenever I get a chance, then the girlfriend comes. So, yeah, I would like to believe that I was a bit of a threat in the house, not just with that relationship, with other small things. I see them fight, So, yeah, I would really like to believe that I really stood out. I really stood out as one of those girls that the gents knew is different in the house.
Do you think those relationships are genuine?
In the words of Katlaza, we don't think that those relationships are genuine, allegedly. And yeah, the thing is, the guys are. I don't want to say much, but if you really like someone, it shows. Mm-hmm. The fact that the guys are still trying to scout and hunt makes me feel like, they're just bored. There's nothing else to do. Everybody's in the house. You might as well just keep yourself busy, But again, like I said at the beginning, we don't know what happens when the pillows are there and the sheets are covered. Maybe it is genuine, but based on observation, I would like to believe that it was not genuine.
If you were to point out one moment, which moment would you say, you see, at this point in time, I killed it in the house?
Listen. The time when I got to sleep on the bed and everybody had to sleep on the floor. I felt bad. I really did feel bad for everybody else. And I love people, man. I really do love people. So I felt bad. But I think what brought me back to believing in myself in the house, because you tend to lose yourself in the house. You do. What really brought me back and reassured me that whatever I'm doing here is working for me is the fact that Big Brother said to me, "You are adhering to my rules. You are showcasing and portraying true levels of diligence." That just made me believe that, it's not even about the house, It's about what Big Brother thinks, and at the end of the day, it's his house. He's always watching, and for me, that was the cherry on the cake.
If anything, is there anything you think you could have done better in the house?
To be honest with you, I do believe, like I said to you, there's a lot of strong personalities in the house. And personally, I do feel like I never got the opportunity to really, I was being myself from start to end, but I never got to give more of myself. And I did try so many times, but whenever I do, I always get pushed down. I had a brilliant idea for a wager, but because it's Dene, people were not happy with it, So I feel like I could have given more of myself. Also, I've learned that being a good person can get you killed, especially if you're playing a game. I never had a strategy. Even trying to kiss Tumi was never me playing a game. It's always been genuine, no love. Whatever I always said in the house was always genuine. But definitely, I do feel like I should have given more, and I should have not been so hard on myself. I shouldn't have been so hard on myself, and I should have just lived. Just kiss the guy, man. Should have just kissed. Even if she was there next, I should have just kissed. So yeah, definitely just to give more, because I do believe that I had the potential. I would have also loved to portray my leadership skills, but unfortunately time was against me. But yeah.
If you had to choose one housemate from the housemates who are left and say, if I had the power to give them the 2 million, not and when you choose not because you like this person, but because of how they are playing the game, who would that housemate be?
I have quite a few. I have 3.
Okay, let's hear them.
I'd like to say Bravo B. Bravo B is very intentional, although sometimes I feel like he's trying to play a game. I also feel like when he does, it's always just to protect him.
Okay.
If he feels like he's being backstabbed or betrayed, which is okay. But personally, I do feel like he's learned from his previous mistakes and he's really trying his best to do better. Bravo B is one of the first people I connected with. He felt like a big brother in the house. I could trust him with so many things. He made me settle down nicely in the house. So I also feel like he's being himself. He's funny without even being funny. He's very influential in the house. People look up to him. And he does. Just give him a chance. I think in terms of leadership, he might do well in that house. Mshefani, I would like to believe is an underdog in the house. You tend to forget about him, but you always... when he bounces back, you're like, oh yeah, Shefani is here. Shefani and I were the only 2 people in the house that got to sleep on beds. So I also believe that he's being himself, and in him being himself, he's also got the opportunity to win.
Yeah.
I would like to believe Kadlaza as well. The fact that she's not nominated this week also speaks volumes about what may happen for her in the future. And if she continues to be herself and not crash out all the time, she might stand a chance as well.
Okay, you chose your 3
Yes.
to possibly win.
Yes.
If you are still in the house, which 2 housemates are you nominating to put up for eviction this
week?
Yeah.
I would have stuck to my guns. Tandeka and Melly.
Why those 2?
Tandeka, I believe, and I love you, girl. Very smart, very beautiful. She has a lot of wisdom to share. My problem was always in the how. And, we live in a very diverse country where I believe that everybody's got different backgrounds, everybody's got different experiences, and it's so beautiful to learn from one another. If only, she could incorporate that element into who she is, she'd be a force to be reckoned with. Definitely Tandeka, for the fact that, there's so many traumas that we are dealing with and fighting every day, and, having to have conversations with her where she just takes you back to your past. She takes you back to a place of darkness, and she's so unapologetic about it, is one of the things that, not just for me, for the rest of the housemates, because everybody's got something good in them, and everybody's fighting something bad in them. So we just have to learn to be kinder to one another. I would believe that the house would be able to function as a team if, she...
Yeah.
I won't say. I want a pretty word, but yeah, if she had to be out of the equation, I believe that the house would, be a force to be reckoned with as well. Melly, no hate, Melly. I just feel like he's associating himself with Tandeka right now, and it's also starting to rub off on him. And he's a great person. I just believe that he has to stand his ground and not hide behind Tandeka with whatever's being said. But also brilliant people. Melly's funny. Melly's also a very strong player, force to be reckoned with. I love them, man. I love them. At the end of the day, it's a game. It's a game. So yeah.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me here.